So, like, when I was younger, I used to read books about the mental approach, and I find that, especially in competition, I'm really good at putting negative thoughts in my head. So, like, if I know there's out of bounds left, when I'm over the ball, I'll be like, hey, don't hit it left.
Don't hit it left.
And then I hit it left. Or like a pre-shot routine. Like, I never really understood like why guys do it or how you kind of go about it. Because for me, I literally just get up, kind of look where I want to hit, and I hit. I don't really, other than maybe a negative thought coming in. And these are when I'm not playing so good. Like, when I'm playing good, it's just sort of autopilot.
Sure.
I'm not really thinking about a whole bunch.
Right.
But I feel like the more nervous I am, if it's a bigger game or I'm in a tournament, that's when I don't really have a pre-shot routine. So I kind of feel like I'm doing something different every time. And I'm always, for whatever reason, if I see water, I'm like, okay, don't hit it in the water.
So one thing I want to really tackle with, and you mentioned it a couple of times, and what you just told me is working on a pre-shot routine for you. Now, just going over the importance of a pre-shot routine. The idea behind that is it gets you less focused on the shot that you're hitting and more focused and in the zone on the process of hitting the shot.
Got it.
Okay, so you stop to when you develop a good repeatable pre-shot routine, whatever it is for you. Every player has a different type of routine that they respond well to.
Yeah.
When you start to develop that and practice with it, and then begin to implement that with every shot that you're hitting on the golf course, you're going to be in that autopilot zone that you mentioned.
Right.
You know, without having to think about your mechanics of your swing. Oh gosh, did I make the right move from the top? Am I in the proper impact position? You're not worried about any of that stuff. We're just talking about getting you to the position to get ready to hit the shot. Whatever happens with the shot, happens.
Right.
But you can definitely be in control of what happens before that shot, and what type of mental state you're in before that shot.
Yeah.
One thing that I like to implement with a lot of students is the idea behind practice time and game time. Okay, now you might think I'm talking about a range session versus a golf course session. I'm not. I'm talking about the shot that you're playing in the game. Thinking about practice time is over here, and we can even put up a physical barrier to represent what I'm talking about. So here's my physical barrier. Anything behind that line, I'm not ready to play a shot. I'm thinking about my process of going through getting ready to play the shot. So from this point, I want you to not think about, oh God, not hitting it left, but instead from here, visualize what you would consider an acceptable shot. Okay, so again, I'm not worried about what's over here on the left. I'm not worried about what's over on the right. I'm just imagining that I'm watching myself hitting this shot, and it's the right outcome that we're looking for.
Okay.
Okay, now once you're in this position, you step over here into the game time zone. We're not thinking about any of that stuff anymore. You know how to swing a golf club. You're an accomplished player. You just get some funky thoughts every now and again.
Yeah.
Those funky thoughts, if they come into your mind, are for back here, behind the goal line. Here, we're not thinking of anything but executing the shot.
So I'm just picking target and going.
Once you're here.
And this
You're
is
doing
what
all your thinking about it.
Visualizing over here.
All your thinking and all your visualizing back here.
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to start doing this with every shot. Now let's see a couple of shots, and I want you to come back here. You don't need to talk to me. You don't need to tell me what you're thinking.
Okay.
But I want you to kind of take to heart what I just said about the idea of visualizing acceptable outcomes rather than thinking about what can go wrong here.
Gotcha. So I hit that one a little bit thin,
Okay.
but it actually flew exactly how I wanted it to. So all I did, I was visualizing hitting it pretty straight, which I can do now because he bent my clubs, which I couldn't do before. And I picked the tree, but I think too, one of the things that you're making me do now is I'm actually shrinking where my target is. Where like before I'd be like, I just want to hit the right side of the
You're seeing the
fairway.
entire golf course before.
Yeah.
Go through that routine one more time.
Okay.
Set up a ball for you over here. And again, we're thinking about back here behind our barrier. This is where we're thinking. This is where we're visualizing.
Yep.
You're stepping into the game time zone. No more thinking, no more visualizing. You do what you do as a golfer. Swing that golf club.
Gotcha.
Very nice. He'll take it, huh?
All day.
Way to
All
go.
day.
Keep
Awesome.
practicing that. Every time you hit a shot in practice, I want you to think, not think.
Gotcha.
Think, play.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Rob.